Hey there, Smite fans. Welcome. It is week number 4, day number 2 of the spring split here in the Smite Pro League. My name is Bart. That's Brandon. And our game number 1 today comes out of Europe. It's LC versus Dignitas in a must-win situation for the London Conspiracy boys.
That's right. Here are the P's and B's?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Too early for the P's and B's.
Too early for the P's and B's.
Come on, buddy.
My fault. My fault.
Let's take a look at Europe as a whole, though, and talk a little bit about the scenarios that could play themselves out here. So, London Conspiracy is going to be going up against Team Dignitas, the 5th versus the 3rd position currently on the ladder. And, well, London Conspiracy, they have to win here to improve to 4-4, which also puts Dignitas at 4-4. They don't control their own destiny from this point, but just to stay in the running, LC, must-win situation.
Right. If LC doesn't win today, they are done skis on trying to go to this LAN. With that, I mean, Team Dignitas still looking very strong at 2-1, Fnatic 2-1, both still yet to play this week. Team Dignitas will be showcased today early on. If they lose this today, it's going to be very hard for them to catch up. Both they and London Conspiracy will have their fate in other people's hands.
Dignitas needs Fnatic to lose as well at some point, and Titan also in the running, but they have a tough path as they play Dignitas in the next week. So it's not going to be easy really for anyone in Europe right now except for Trig at the top of the standings. Tweet at us, though, at Smite Pro to show us how you hashtag SPL pictures win stuff for you. So
today in my house, it's Moji, who missed her flight yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
It has she's playing and then has it over here. So if she were to take a picture, it would be probably awful because there's no way she understands technology.
Yeah. She missed the flight. So
yeah.
Let's take a look at the schedule for today, my friends. It is March 28th. It's a Saturday, and it's Dignitas versus London Conspiracy. AFK Gaming versus Enemy Esports coming your way on Sunday.
Right.
Fnatic Stars and Team Solo Med versus COG. TSM, if they beat this COG team, they are locked in. Fnatic, they just need to beat upcoming Stars, and they are ready to go to LAN.
So interesting, AFK Gaming is actually a gamer lounge, right, out there in San Jose, California.
It is that, yes.
And the boys are there. They have flown out, and this is going to be difficult because most of them play with East Coast ping. So they're going to be playing with West Coast ping today, which could be a little bit difficult for them to make the switch. I don't know that Allied or Incon has ever played with that dramatic of a change. And Allied, of course, being a Hunter player, might have a little bit of a difficult time making that transition as a Hunter player.
The real question to me is, did they bring out Allied's girlfriend? Is he going to be comfortable? He's an emotional guy.
Cyclone, of course, is West Coast as well, so maybe they'll have something. But let's take a look at the EU players today. We're going to start, of course, with fan favorites, London Conspiracy.
It's Arrow, Emilzy, Shaggy Shank, Snakeskin, and Sun Touch. We've seen most of these guys around European competitive for some time now. They've struggled a little bit this season. They've had some really high points as well. It's been a little bit of a hot and cold team, but for a bunch of kind of mercenaries to come together and have this good of a showing, it's been a good season for them so far, I think.
For me, going up against their opponents today, also kind of, in my opinion, a team of mercenaries is Team Dignitas. Now this is going to be, Youngbei, who's absolutely incredible, teaming up with Shadow Nightmare, Frostyak, and Frezzy, previously of the old Fnatic roster. And then there's Variety as well, who is on Team Coast. So this is definitely a mishmash of different teams as well with a small core. But despite the fact that the 3 are from one team, I'm always looking at Youngbei for this. I mean, he had, the World Championship status for a little while on the former TSM roster from launch. He has the leadership that I'm looking for, and if they're going to beat London Conspiracy today, who are known for upsets, it's got to be off Youngbei.
Yeah, you got to think it's a matchup to watch is going to be in that duo lane, guys. This weekend, though, March 28th and 29th, all gods are unlocked and playable. Double worshippers, bonus gems for first wins each day, 100 gems completing all 6 first wins. If you wanted free stuff, this is a great opportunity to go and play Smite. So get on your PCs, put us on the second monitor, and let's let it rip.
I had no idea that was going on at all.
Yeah. Are you mad now that you're here and not playing?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't really care about the gems. I work here, and they'll go here, DM. But, all gods unlocked, that's awesome.
All right, check it out. Watch and win. Watch the SPL for the big plays and win. Not only some sweet premium in-game swag, but also early access to the Smite X-Bone Beta. It's First Blood, triple kills, quadra kills, pentakills, and Titan Fall. We will be giving out codes to you via the Twitch chat giveaway utility, so you'll be instructed to give away, put a hashtag in Twitch chat to enter to win. So
now,
keep your eyes out.
With the First Blood code being giveaway, everyone should be ready about the 20-minute mark as we go into Watch EU.
Let's take a look at the picks and bans as we get into game number 1, LCs versus Dignitas.
P's and B's?
That was a Thursday pick, Brandon. That's only for weekly Smite. On the weekends, we call it picks and bans. Blue squad is Dignitas with the first pick and first ban in this situation. It's London Conspiracy at the top of your screen in red.
So apparently we're doing picks and bans today, which are boring, but still powered by Curse. Voice Team Dignitas with the first ban of the day. Going to be Sylvanas getting taken out. London Conspiracy, I imagine within the two bans, will answer with Athena. But Poseidon gets taken away first. Wow, all right.
Yeah, well, Poseidon, he has historically been pretty good in the mid lane for LC, so they've done pretty well with that god, but they're going to have it banned away by Dignitas. I'm sorry, they're going to ban it from Dignitas. Sylvanas Thor removed from the board by the boys in yellow. Final ban coming our way soon from LC, and, well, likely to be Athena, as Brandon mentioned.
I mean, I can't imagine that it wouldn't be. Whoa, they ban Ra.
Whoa.
Wow, really trying to take shots at Shadow Nightmare, though. To me, though, I really wouldn't try to be banning out Shadow Nightmare. I mean, this guy has probably one of the biggest god pools in Smite. Back when he was first started, he was bringing Anubis in. He was bringing Zeus in before he even got buffed originally. I mean, the guy's god pool is ridiculous, but we're going to see Team Dignitas opt to start with Ares.
Let's see if he brings MLC Zeus back into the equation. We saw that yesterday. Or,
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
that's
Thursday.
true.
Out of NA, Hunbots.
And Athena, I mean, I have to imagine.
Yeah.
Anhur still available as well. We know that
Not this high
Youngbei,
priority,
big
I don't
proponent of it. Though Shaggy Shank prefers, you know, those sniper types. He likes characters like Rama, characters like Shibalanke, who every hit is going to matter, as opposed to Anhur is like, I think I will throw. But no, he is going to pick Anhur indeed. That's going to go to Shaggy. Option here to Youngbei to try to counter. I imagine they'll pick their hunter here.
I mean, based on what we've seen out of Anhur, I don't think he's worthy of this second pick position right now. I mean, I was a big proponent of this god being out of control strong after the last round of balance changes to him. I mean, I thought he was going to be really dominant, but so far statistically he's done well-ish.
Yeah.
In the second pick position, it's definitely that counter pick versus Youngbei. They just don't want that player on this god.
Yeah.
Hunbots is the go-to jungler outside of
Yes.
Thor right now in the Pro League.
I think Hunbots is the second highest win rate right now, correct?
That's right, yeah.
to Hercules.
To Hercules, who hasn't lost. He's
OP.
been played, I think, just a little bit less than Sylvanas overall.
Yeah.
And
It's like 9-10 games, something like that.
yeah, he's done. No, he's won like 9 or 10 out of about 14. Sylvanas sitting about 16 games that he's been played in. So
All right.
Batz is doing pretty well for himself, and is really highly valued by the squads as well. And look at what else he's going to round out their lineup with. It's Hunbots on her Scylla. On the side of Dignitas, though, they've drafted a little bit outside of meta, I'll say. I mean, they have to take the Ram here, I think, because that's the matchup they want versus on her. It's going to get banned out if they don't. But Agni Ares to kind of put around that means it's a kill lane in the duo and an aggro lane in the mid. So Dignitas looking to take the fight.
With that, we are going to see Arachne banned away. Final option of ban over to Team Dignitas. They're still looking possibly at solo, most likely as Hunbots will likely take to the jungle. And then, of course, support, I think, is probably going to be their best bet. Athena is still on the table, and Red does have option out. No, Athena's going to make it all the way through. Bastet gets banned.
Also, want to mention this is the first time on record in the season that Dignitas hasn't banned Arachne and Serket or Bakasura
Yeah,
in
that's
the
true.
first two.
Yeah.
Literally, this is the first time it happened. They still banned the Arachne in their third position, but they're willing to let it go a little bit versus LC. Maybe not scared of the jungle Sun Touch.
Fair point. I mean, Suntouch has not had the, I think, brightest season so far, albeit his highs have been very, very high. His lows have been very, very low, despite what role he might have been playing in. But either so, two junglers getting taken away from him still shows at least a little bit of fear.
Ooh, Awilix.
With no knockups so far.
So far, they still have a solo laner, it looks like, to
Vamana?
pick up. Vamana.
Tyr,
Vamana, I would think, or Hercules. Well, Hercules would be the stats pick here.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to win, pick Hercules is the current trend in the Pro League. But Vamana, a little bit more reliable knockup. But no.
Wow, okay, so Awilix will be relying on Awilix for any use of her ultimate pull. I think people really underestimating the ultimate by itself,
But it's
though.
Hunbots on her Scylla. All three of them rely really heavily on their leaps.
That's fair. That's very fair. Yeah, you remember you can pull Scylla out from underneath the ground for whatever reason.
It's just an inverted leap.
Hey, I see you down there.
But it does not go through walls, right?
No.
So, I mean, a lot of the times, especially the Anhur is going to be jumping over that Gold Fury wall.
Right.
In these early engagements. but rounding out it's going to be a tier. So a lot of control coming out of London Conspiracy, a healthy amount of team fight. Little worried about that Fearless plus I'm a Monster, and with the Impale, there's a lot of repositioning with a long wind-up ultimate like that Scylla I'm a Monster, but if she can get it together with Gev, London Conspiracy, a good bid here to certainly outburst Team Dignitas, but you always got to be worried about an Ares. Ares Awilix against a team this mobile.
Early games really just absolutely going to suffer for LC outside the duo lane. Hunbots, not the greatest clear, especially against Awilix, whose clear is unbelievably strong. Bakasura against Tier. Baka really shouldn't have too much trouble in lane. And then, of course, in mid lane, Scylla going to have a very hard time clearing against really any mage, let alone Agni, whose early game clear is unbelievably strong.
Hey, let's introduce the teams. We're in the map now. It's the blue squad we're running along with now. Bottom side of your mini-map, left side of your spectator UI. They are known as Team Dignitas. It's variety on the Bakasura, Frostiak in the jungle as Awilix, Shadow Nightmare mid lane, Agni, Frezzo, and Youngbei, your duo lane, Ares, and Ram. Their opponents today, London Conspiracy, top side of your minimap, right side of the spectator UI, wearing the red trunks, fighting in a must-win situation here to keep their LAN hopes alive. It's Snakeskin in the soul lane as Tier, Sun Touch will be the jungle Hun bots, Arrow in the mid lane as Scylla, Emilzy and Shaggy Shank the dual lane as Geb1 and Olympian Anhur.
Now remember, guys, London Conspiracy fighting for their LAN lives here. Should they win today, they will have a chance to make the LAN, but it will be in the hands of other people. They will require other teams to lose strategic matchups. If they lose today, even with a one-game win, they are completely out.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, London Conspiracy fighting to keep it alive. Dignitas, Youngbei showing off that orbital Rom skin. A little bit disappointed, though, in Shadow Nightmare for not having Swagni.
I thought you were going to say you're disappointed in the Rom skin. I'm like, I love that skin.
No, that skin's wonderful. No, it's the lack of Swagni I find disturbing.
Did we finally learn how to get the red buff in the beginning? I'm so excited. You see, they pull it to the left, get it low, reset it to Youngbei, start running to lane as Youngbei finishes it up, and then has a shorter distance back to the lane. Scylla doing the same thing on top. It seems like everyone's starting to get those little instances of min-max finally online, and I'm very excited because it's been driving me crazy.
Arrow getting to lane a little bit before Shadow Nightmare. London Conspiracy a little bit more efficient with that red buff cleanup, and that's going to help Scylla out an awful lot, actually. Getting that kind of crucial level 2 this wave going to be a bit easier for her. Level 3 really where things start to come online in terms of being able to compete with the Agni in terms of clear, but as long as the Flame Dash doesn't do too much and Sun Touch kind of positioning himself so that Shadow Nightmare can't get that easy level 1 clear out of the Path of Flames. There it is, level 3 for Arrow, and London Conspiracy done a nice job mitigating what could have been a weak early game.
You know, I really like Sun Touch on Hunbots, because for me, Hunbots is not alone, right? It's him and luck versus anyone. He has a 30% chance to crit on his next basic attack after any single given ability. All 4 of them will proc it, and quickly, too. So, I mean, if he does 3 abilities very quickly and he can get 2 crits off early game, that'll spell a kill. Granted, that's all luck.
Yeah, and there's a pretty big delay on Hunbots' overhand smash. And you're trying to kind of deal with Agni, who does have that very, very fast startup on Flame Dash. So it's going to take a little bit of finesse to get those abilities fired off. The leap and the overhand smash both have maybe half a second before they deal their damage and give you that potential crit modifier.
So we're only about 2 minutes in here. No first blood just yet. We've had a few rotations. We're seeing this faux duo lane in mid right now as Suntouch takes a pretty big swing there. Featherstep doing a lot of damage. I don't know how many times you have to play against her to really understand how much you're going to take if she combos you. But, I mean, even now, players around the world, you know, casters, pros alike, they're just like, there's no way she can kill me right now. And then Featherstep does like 400 damage. You're like, all right, well, that is the worst.
Yeah, that ability, you just saw it fired off by Frostiak there. You leap over your target, the last target hit, as long as you're still within range. And if it's the third hit in your progression, you deal AoE damage with the Featherstep. And
all the while, actually disjoints your hitbox.
That's
as well.
Right. Yeah. You gain the immunity during, as you would in a normal leap, while backflipping over your target. So this character, very high skill floor is the way to think about it. There's definitely an execution requirement to be able to play her in a meaningful way. Here comes the first set of ultimates, so it's Frezzo, and he's dead to rights here. No way he makes it out of the crush in time. Shadow Nightmare trying to get some return as Frostiak's here as well. Youngbei, it's the knockup. Brilliant play by Frostiak there. That move is not easy to hit.
It's a little bit easier than it used to be, at least after the buff that it received a few months back. But yes, very difficult. It's a straight shot, must hit them directly. But if you hit them when they're facing in an opposite direction, you're going to be able to get the knock up. And then, of course, our ultimate Gravity Surge going to pull them right out of the sky. Beautiful play right there. And that's going to give them a 1-for-1, right? Still slightly in favor, for the first blood of London Conspiracy, although they wound up gaining a support overall instead of the jungler, which, is hard to argue against.
So a little bit of Smite trivia for you here. Scylla's Sikkim is the slowest moving projectile in the game.
Is it really?
It is, followed by Isis's Spirit Ball and the original Moonlight Charge out of Awilix. It's now a little bit faster than the Spirit Ball. So that gives you a little bit of perspective on how difficult it is to hit this ability. It also has to be hitting from behind your target to get that knockup proc.
Right.
So.
I didn't know. I mean, obviously, you know that Scylla's Sikkim is very slow. I didn't think it was the slowest.
It is the slowest.
Wow. I'm going to start calling it the Yoga Catastrophe. With that, 4 minutes in, 1 kill apiece with First Blood going down in favor of London Conspiracy. The golden experience differences are basically even at this point. There's only about a 300 difference between the two teams in either regard. And with that, we're not going to see too much going on in terms of relative pressure. But oh, look at Frostiak here. He's going to go in.
Hey.
Love it. Absolutely love the use of the ult. Suntouch didn't have a lot of
but
health
he's going to
here.
get blown up for it. The Ares Chain's landing.
Yeah, he's dead.
This is what we're talking about during the draft. Here is the big danger of kind of having this high mobility reliant team on the side of LDNC when it was a first pick out of the Ares. They drafted into this Ares knowing what was going to go down.
Ooh,
Snakeskin got caught out during his Fearless there. Frezzy had a bit better positioning. Could have caught him out. Frostiak going to throw a little Moonlight Suku at him.
He had the Gravity Surge available, too. If he hit that, that would have been really bad. They already had Lawbringer on cooldown there, so if Snakeskin got caught, he had no CC immunity. He would have been killed.
Yeah, again, it goes back to me. It's as we're taking a look at his ample, broad shoulders, Frezzo on the Ares here. First pick position out of Team Dignitas, and London Conspiracy still drafted a team that gets countered really hard by Ares. I mean, Tyr by himself is completely shut down by Ares so far that people consider running Ares in a solo lane against Tyr just because of how good the matchup is.
I love that matchup. Shoutouts to Anatoly of Team Eager, who really brought that one to light long back before even Season 1 when he was just dominating in the solo lane. He was one of the lead theory crafters. He brings Ares out to fight specifically against Tyr, and everyone was like, this guy's crazy. He's out of his mind. And then you realize, oh my god, not only can he not Fearless, but I can reapply the chains over and over through the creeps by attacking you with them, allowing me to get ridiculous amounts of damage, ridiculous amounts of clear. Well, not ridiculous. I mean, for Ares.
Yeah, ridiculous for Ares. Very, very modest for the rest of the cast,
Yeah.
I think. But yeah, Hunbot's very reliant on the slow on his leap. You have Scylla, as we mentioned, very reliant on hers. And then you have the the Anhur, who's looking to set up those free and pales with his leap. So Ares shuts those down. Awilix can punish them. I just think LC drafted themselves into a corner here.
It's possible. I mean, there really seems like just Team Dignitas has a team that is going to benefit them well. I mean, like you said, it's a little bit off meta, right? But they've counterpicked extremely well. They just got to keep using it.
So I'm a Monster forced out from the Ares ultimate. That's a win. Frostiak going to find the ultimate onto Emilzy, and the chain should be enough to seal the deal here. Crush and the Sikkim were on target, but they still are able to secure that kill. Frostiak in a bit of trouble trying to get away. Suntouch being kited, and Suntouch, he's lucky those chains are back up by Frezzy. And Agni about 5 seconds away from his cooldowns. The Crush going to hit Ares as well. I don't think Arrow can pursue this. No, he can't. The Shadow Nightmare, the threat of the clear from the Agni just a bit too strong. And they can see that halo over his head indicating that he's got a few bombs available.
Diving in here real deep. Mobility used in the mid lane. Arrow, no I'm a Monster available. Not going to be able to shut him down even with Path of Flames on cooldown. And with a rotation from Variety, Arrow's going to take his leave here as for the second time Bakasura will walk past a ward, making sure that he knows he's safe.
On Thursday we saw a lot of blinks. Hunbot's blink coming out a couple times as well here. Suntouch is going to opt for those beads, and that's the Ares.
Oh, wait. Right side. Variety going to take some damage here. Can he answer back? Snakeskin actually doing a ton
Let's ride along
of
the
damage,
left, Brandon, where Suntouch has a great angle here to move in, but he gets chains out right before he can leap, and Rom's taking the sky. It's going to be a bunch of return damage onto Suntouch, but now it's Bay in some trouble. He's going to try to turn and fight. One more in hand. He rushed that first shot. Had he lined it up, maybe had a chance to pick off Suntouch there, but that's going to be that for that gank. Ares nearly breaks it up enough for Rom, to get a return kill, but Youngbei overextended without vision, and he's down.
Yeah, Suntouch right there got a little bit lucky. You know, he found the one crit that he needed, and that was the damage that he escaped with. He got out of there with like 20 health.
Yep.
In the mid lane right now, Scylla forced to jump away. Arrow going to be in some trouble here, as he does have I'm a Monster. Sure, the bomb from the back line was not in the second one. Big clean kill.
And then use your purification beads and walk away from the monkey as Awilix moves in as well. Here comes Gab, but Gab only going to be able to offer a bit of knockup. No shield necessary. Suntouch wasn't in too much trouble. Shadow Nightmare gets away with a peach.
You know, one of the reasons that when I play Humbots, I love to level the 1 after the overhand smash. The somersault's actually going to reduce its cooldown as you level it up. And Suntouch, 3 seconds away there. Of course, he would have needed to be a higher level. Wouldn't have had it either way. But that right there is one of the situations I like to see, the 1 instead of the 3. 3 going to give you much better poke, but the 1 a little bit more utility-based. And knowing the way that Suntouch plays in terms of getting in and getting out, I would much prefer to see him go for the somersault damage in and then teleport back through before using the ultimate. I think that's going to play better to the playstyle we've known for him over the last couple years of playmaker. Right?
Yeah,
that's what he wants to do.
The bouncing monkey gives you a little bit more, a little safer clear though. You're not blowing your leap to clear camps in the kind of mid stages here, and maybe versus in Awilix, she's worried about that. I think,
and he should be.
Yeah,
to be fair.
There's merits to both, obviously, right? The somersault, as you mentioned, reduce cooldown, get a more reliable slow, more reliable kind of kill potential out of that ability than the teleport necessarily, but the teleport giving you the safer farm and faster farm.
And realistically, it's hard to say which one is going to benefit him more, considering the fact that we have seen Awilix go into his jungle freely at this point. But to be fair, this is early game Awilix. This is where
she does,
shines. When we saw her last, it was Cubo Fred, but Cubo was really far ahead at this stage of the game.
Cubo also just owned the enemy's back camps. Oh, Arrow almost got picked up by that Moonlight charge, but as you recall, Cubo owned their jungle. He took the back camps, both of them, twice in the first 4 minutes.
And was just laughing about it, just going in. Ooh, Frostyak taking a lot of damage. Luckily for him, he's not going to get knocked off of Suko, off of the knockup. Will be able to stick around. Shadow Nightmare in some trouble, dodges the other monster just barely.
The old shenanigans dash out of Agni there.
Oh, Frostyak. What happened?
Hey, here we go. Frezzy blinking forward. He finds a couple. Not going to get anything out of it. What, Frostyak threw the ultimate out?
Oh, I see. Yeah, it was beads.
Probably.
It was beads.
Yeah.
Suntouch, very smart. Remember, one of the few abilities that you can stop directly.
Chain hits. No problem.
No, but the Geb shield's going to keep him alive.
That's what Geb does.
And the Geb actually breaks the cripple as well. It doesn't get reapplied, so he's able to jump away. Geb, really strong pick into Ares.
Old Geb bailing them out, but he can only shield 1 from the ultimate pull out of Ares. So. Still a game that can be very easily won by Dignitas in the team fighting phase. That's London Conspiracy is going to be their toughest point. It's hard to say that when you're looking into a Geb, Scylla, Hunbots, all of these big team fighters, but getting in and out of the fight is going to be very tough for them if they don't pick up the Ares first. So work is definitely uphill for LC at this point.
They can last, though, and that's the goal. They need to last as long as possible. Their end game's going to be stronger. Rama going to be better than Anhur, sure. But Geb versus Ares, you give that one to Geb.
Oh, yeah.
Scylla versus Agni, it's pretty split, but Scylla has the innate ability to go, this team fight is over and we win the game, right? Hunbots, much easier approaches, a lot better in terms of overall damage in the end game because of, giant circles. And then Tyr versus Bakasura, hard to say here, right? Tyr generally can bring a lot to the table in terms of CC, not a lot in damage, but Bakasura in the end game is very, very squishy. So if they can pick him off, especially considering he's gone sprint here, if they can pick him off early, it's going to help a lot.
They're going to go for the one-man ultimate on the Suntouch here. He's going to blow his own ultimate to try to save himself and keep it safe. Frezzy, he's going to eat some of that Desert's Fury to Anhur. We have Scylla. I'm a monster. Knock up on a Variety, but not enough to cure him. He's going to pop Regurgitate, but it's beads away. Arrow looking for the last shot, but Variety's out over the wall. And now that should be the end of the engagement. Frostyak got smacked around a bit.
No, Snake's going deep. Lawbringer dodge! Variety trying to keep alive here. 2 seconds until he'll be able to jump.
He's got the leap in 1.
Yeah, Snakeskin recognizes that. He's been keeping the timer. Realizes that he might have dropped it with that Lawbringer there. It's actually not a super difficult move to dodge despite the range.
Yeah, it takes a while to develop for sure. Frostyak, the one thing about the late game is that Awilix, the Moonlight Surge, the ultimate, does provide the most powerful physical damage steroid in the entire game.
Yeah, huge.
For a few seconds after use, so
60 physical power.
It's nutso.
Yeah, I mean, for 5 seconds, I mean, it's not a huge amount of time. Arrow getting a big kill there. They're going to continue on. Suntouch getting pretty low, but Snakeskin not letting Variety get away that time. Make sure he stops that one dead in its tracks. But, oh, diving in. Frostiak not letting this one go.
No, Feather Step over the top. They're going to try to force the leap, but he missed the Moonlight Surge. You saw him waiting for it. He was a little bit off the mark. They're still able to clean up Suntouch and get something back for that. Snakeskin finds a Fearless Chain. Shadow Knight with the beads, but it's not enough. Second hit still lands. Couldn't sidestep it fast enough, and Frostiak now the one in a bit of trouble. But finds Suku to leap over the wall, and Frostiak will fall back. But yeah, what we were getting at before the fight there is that there's a big split push kind of rat potential out of the Awilix.
Uh-oh, wait, Variety. No, not getting away that time. Snakeskin actually gets the hit before the knockup from Emilzy applies. Even so, Emilzy making sure he's there for the follow-up on the CC chain. Gold Fury, strangely, at 14 minutes still standing, but London Conspiracy has now an 800 gold lead.
Yeah, London Conspiracy just surges into the Dignitas jungle left side of the mid lane there, finds a few kills, extended fight. They get a bunch of high-value targets as well. Variety and Shadow Nightmare both taking a spill there. They lose Suntouch for it, but he's able to farm. All the buffs are up on the map for him, so he'll be able to recover fairly well for the next fight, which should be happening around the Gold Fury, as you mentioned. And that would have been the other play for LC. They could have fallen back and taken the Gold Fury off of that, but they elect for additional kills, and they get a couple onto the tier as well, so they're going to help his farm out a bit. And you got to think it's going to maybe be on the back of him this fight to kind of set up these kills for London Conspiracy. He's going to need to be able to sustain through that initial burst that Dignitas is going to be able to put out.
So looking at the Vision fight right now, Frezzy takes down the Sentry Ward, giving Vision back to blue at the Gold Fury. 2 sentries in the inventories right now, one for Arrow, which gets actually placed down at the hot spot. They're going to be able to clean that one up, but we still have one more, and that's going to be for Frostiak. He knows what just happens there. It's possible he could try to trade that one out. You can see the pings coming out like, hey, there's a ward there. You know, they're talking about it right now, and it's possible Frostiak will make the rotation to get it done.
Mid lane here, it's the Guardians are both showing their large torsos. Agni, he's going to clean up the wave here, and it's the pace slowed down a bit here now around the 15-minute mark.
Both teams look nervous.
Yeah, at that last set of invades, the buffs are starting to come back up. They've just been cleared out by London Conspiracy. Speed buffs just respawned on the right side there for Dignitas, and it's a ponderously paced game. And as you mentioned, the curiosity here is really no aggression around the Gold Fury so far. Vision is dominated currently by LC, though.
Still, no attempts at the FG or Gold Fury. I was watching them kind of rotate over towards the left side, and they're just not going for it. Like we're starting to see some gesturing now, like, hey, we're gonna bait this fight. Hey, you're gonna have to rotate to keep us locked in. Yeah, there it goes. Blink in from Frezzy though. Looks someday. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he was like, oh, I am way too early.
Speaking of way too early, though, Arrow used the I'm a Monster there. This could be trouble for the team fight. Shadow Nightmare playing some damage. Frostiak in the back line going to get cleaned up by the support deep into the back line. Shadow Nightmare in trouble. And London Conspiracy out of nowhere takes the Gold Fury basically for free and then answers with 3 kills overall for none.
Yeah, Frostiak kind of forgot who he was there. You know, he like went in as a Awilix, and then when the Agni stun didn't come through, he just melted to London Conspiracy, and they take a Gold Fury. And like you can kind of see what they went for when they drafted this team against the Ares in some respects, right? As we were mentioning in the early stages of the game, it's very difficult to play this team when you're getting crippled by the Ares. But one thing this team is very good at is bursting him down before the ultimate actually goes off. I'm a Monster plus that Hunbots ultimate. One thing that's really overlooked from the Fear No Evil ultimate from Hunbots is the amount of damage it puts out over time, especially at higher ranks, getting up into the 700-800 damage mark if you stay in it for the whole time. Sure. Yeah, and Ares will stay in it the whole time.
So with that, London now in a huge advantage, and I think it comes down to the fact that they somehow escaped the early game with this extremely late-game-based comp with characters like Scylla and Hunbots. You know, Hunbots definitely getting better in the mid-game, but it's early game extremely weak. And with that, doing pretty well for themselves right now. They're up 3 kills, right? Sitting strong. For me, I think this is coming down to the Ares pick. Not really sure why we saw this as a first pick. We're going to get some beads usage there from Variety, but Ares did well at the launch tournament, right?
Man, Cataclysm, double knockup, Fearless over the top. I'm a Monster ready. Ares dodges it somehow, does Frezzo. There comes the Hunbots ultimate to seal the deal. Awilix just tossing out, gets pinned to the wall. Shaggy Shank threads the needle there. We haven't seen much out of the Anhur so far, but this could be his time to shine. We're going to ride along with him. Hits one more in hand, and now he's going to look for positioning onto this tier 2, where London Conspiracy, Well, they've pulled ahead of Team Dignitas here now by about 4,000 gold. 4,000 gold already. Looking to extend the lead. They'll take the tier 2 and maybe more out of this. They can definitely take an objective. If Emilzy's able to get a heal out, Bay in a bit of trouble. Desert Fury used as well. About half of it dodged by the Ram. And the stun, mutual stuns for Shadow Nightmare and Shaggy Shank there. And that'll be the end of the engagement. But 2 towers in the mid lane cleaned up on the back of a couple of high-value kills for LC. They've made it 5K to their advantage.
You know, this is the same exact point that I was going to make before that team fight started. Ares, super strong at the World Championships because legitimately it looked like the old, the old COG roster, now Cloud9, just forgot how to fight Ares. And London Conspiracy's like, no. He comes in and he does his ridiculous chain nonsense and you just kill him because he's out of position, right?
Right.
He's tanky, sure, but he's not that tanky, especially not at this stage of the game. I mean, he doesn't even have a Sovereignty online, no auras to help him increase that damage. He is a sitting duck when he jumps in there. And I mean, I'm taking a look at the builds here. He has not a single point into bolster defenses.
That's for cowards.
See, for me, I can understand not wanting to max it. It's only giving you 5 protections per level after the first level, but the first level is 20, Bart. You need it.
Yeah, a lot of value out of that rank 1. Another thing that's been, kind of dictating the pace of this game has been Emilzy doing a great job on that Geb of getting those Cataclysms out early. So one of the things that will happen often when you're fighting the Ares is that you use the Cataclysm just to avoid getting pulled, but Emilzy's been able to initiate more often than not and get a lot of value out of those Geb ultimates. We just saw Young Bay.
And you know what? I like that because if Emilzy is getting in there, getting a 3-man kata, hitting the knockup, and then getting pulled,
fine.
Right? I mean, like, what's going to happen? Great that you just pulled a support who has no more cooldowns up. Well, what does he care?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And he's really done a nice job of making sure that he's been the aggressor in these fights instead of having to blow it defensively because he does have the blink, right? And so more often than not, we'll see that blink come out, but then still going to be used by the Ares. Emilzy's been firing them off when he can.
Now, Team Dignitas had an amazing start to the season, 2-0, blowing through the competition. And then, last week we saw them lose pretty heftily. And now,
Shaggy Shank.
Look at this.
You see that pin? He caught the flame dash with the pillar.
Wow, going
really
right
nice.
in. Snakeskin's going to find a kill there. Still crippled, trying to keep himself alive here and doing well with it. Variety to the back line. I don't think he knows that he's Bakasura.
Yeah. Awilix almost leaping into that push-pull combination there. And the I'm a Monster, but does get smacked around by the Fearless Chain of Snakeskin. Another Tier 2 falls London Conspiracy, and it looks like they have the Fire Giant buff, like these fights that they're taking. Dignitas fighting underneath the Tier 2, but still losing it after giving away the Tier 1, sacking it to try to make some time and get their game plan together. London Conspiracy bowls through them.
9,100 gold right now. The Gold Fury's coming up. There's a small chance for Team Dignitas to kind of give themselves a little bit more of a footing in this game. But for right now, it just absolutely belongs to London. Arrow has 1,600 gold in hand. He's going to back now. No, he's sticking around.
Just isn't what you want out of a Bakasura pick. Like, where is the anything from Bakasura?
I hate to harp on it again. I've cited in the past, and perhaps I was wrong in picks and bans. That Ra, that wasn't a shot to Shadow Nightmare. That was a shot to Variety. I don't want to say it's his only god in his god pool. Obviously, he plays at a pretty close to professional level, but at the same time, this is week after week that we're seeing Variety play gods, and if it's not Ra or Agni, it just seems like they're not getting a lot of use out of him.
Well, Gold Fury's going to be picked up again here by London Conspiracy. No Dignitas members even close to try to contest that one. Lead's going to be pushed up over 10K now to about the 11K mark, and it was just a couple minutes ago we were talking about a 4,000 gold lead for London Conspiracy. And they've really done a nice job of expanding on that lead, and they pushed that snowball down the hill.
Did you see that, Bart, right there? Emilzy's like, oh my god, I need to roll out to the Fire Giant because they're doing it. Not even close.
He's going to blow the Cataclysm defensively there, and here comes Bakasura trying to make a name for himself. Oboe procs coming out. They want to burn down Emilzy, but Variety's going to get cleaned up, no problem, by Shaggy Shank even before the I'm a Monster came through. Arrow, not with the benefit of any of his cooldowns right now, trying to kite around the edges of the fight. Shadow Nightmare. Beads are blown, and the reinitiation could be coming from London Conspiracy as Hunbots has rallied to the fight. They have a Sentry Ward as well down that corridor. They know that they're not spotted out, and they have a lot of options now with the vision advantage.
Does it seem to you that Arrow is not playing Scylla and that he's playing Agni? He's throwing his ult very early, almost as often as possible. He's jumping away or in as if it were damage. And he's constantly throwing the twos in the same exact places that you would throw a Flame Wave. I guarantee that if he... Oh, were you going to pull Snakeskin? That doesn't seem like a good idea, Frostiak!
Oh, Shaggy Shank, please. Now, that's the fourth.
Oh, Young Bay.
The fourth engagement in a row I've seen Shaggy Shank hit somebody with a pillar stun. picked them off, in fact, as they were trying to make an escape play. Agni twice, and there we saw the Rom getting picked up as well. And oh, Shadow, did he blink?
I know. I think that was. Wait, was that Shadow's blink? No. That was Snakeskin.
Okay, Snakeskin pulls him in there. I thought he blinked it. Okay, good. The tier blinks in, picks up the Agni, and oh, Dignitas, they've fallen apart here now in the mid-game. Shaggy Shank really showing us what the Anhur can do in the fights, kind of quietly winning these fights for the team. Him and Snakeskin combining for really all of what London Conspiracy's been doing.
Snakeskin, I don't think I've ever seen him play like this.
Early in the season, we saw him play a tier this dominant. Maybe even during qualifiers, we saw him really handle a team.
But like 5-0-10 against Team Dignitas kind of play? This might be a different world that he's playing in right now. He is on his stuff. In my opinion, this is the best he's ever played. And granted, yes, Tyr is his go-to god. This is the god that he wants when he gets, put into a game. This is the god that we've seen him do well on before. But the way that he has played this game so far has been incredible. He's baiting perfectly. He's approaching where he should. He's blinking in well. He's being a forefront in the fight. He's being a true frontliner. They're doing a tier 2. He's diving in front of it to make sure they can't contest it. That's what you want to see from tier, especially when you have a Geb. Geb's not really a frontliner. He gets the blink in, he hits the ult, right, and then he backs off a little bit. He's looking to absorb for his carries. Tier in the front line, whole time. London Conspiracy, great pickup here. Before this season, relatively unknown to the world stage. After this season, this guy's going to be a big pickup.
There we go, Frezzy. He gets the big chains, but it only pulls Emilzy as one would expect. Desert Fury coming out, and Frezzo, he goes down, and as you mentioned, they kind of just know how to play against Ares. Just turn and burn, trying to make his way to the back line and do something as Variety, but it doesn't look like he's going to get much out of this one as Shaggy Shank peels off at the front lines and throws out his damage. Again, there's a double, an extended triple kill for him. Agni Bombs are on the mark to stop the rollout. But here comes old Snakeskin. He goes out for the Fist Fearless combo. Knocked up now is the Agni. Shaggy Shank, he's going to go down here maybe, but no. A couple of nice life seal procs. A Geb Shield keeps alive for the moment, but Young Bay seals the deal there. Now we'll try to fight 3. And, well, he is Ram, but that was a lot of damage out of the Crush and the Sikkim combination. The knockout from Emilzy sets all that up again. It's a deicide on the side of Team Dignitas. London Conspiracy with a little bit of time to do what they want, but without any real physical damage dealers available, this Phoenix will stay up just fine.
Well, they still get the mid one. They get, like you said, a deicide right before Frezzy comes back up. I mean, I just absolutely love the way that London Conspiracy has been playing this game. Realistically, it's hard to say that I don't love that the way Team Dignitas played the early game. They had all of these amazing early pressuring gods like Awilix and Agni. Agni's stun usage at level 5 is incredible. Variety is going to be strongest from level 5 to level 13, right? That's where Baka shines. And we didn't really see them show up there. Young Bay, this is where he should be showing up, right? This is the end game. But his team is so far behind at this point that it's allowed Anhur to kind of keep even. And despite how many times I see it, just like I saw it in the last fight, the Training Wheels Fearless combo with the Fist of the Gods is the funniest thing in the game. It's just like, I don't think I can position you well right now, so you stun. And
yeah, you
then
stay there. Yeah, I agree with you. That Gold Fury not falling until so far into the mid-game is a little bit suspect with a Bakasura on your team. Regurgitate, one of the best abilities in the game for burning down objectives, like the Gold Fury. And it's a combination of that and Ares not doing enough to control, especially the tier in these fights.
Yeah, like right in the last fight, he finally blinks in and gets the big pull, right? He's now finally tanky enough to where he can last through the entire channel, but then he just pulled him, right? He got one person, everyone else beads, but his team was nowhere near to follow up. He seems like he finally made the right play, but without the right call. Yeah,
it's just the cripple hasn't really been bringing it in the later stages of the game. Through the early game, it was really successful. They were finding pickoffs, but now it's that turn and burn mentality onto the Ares has been shutting down the team fights for Team Dignitas. It's been a little bit piecemeal. Variety going to the back line. Frostiak kind of trying to follow it up, but not making it there in time to really even pick off a single target. And then it's really only been Shadow Nightmare that's been very successful in these team fights in about the last 10 minutes. Hitting his bombs, dealing damage, generally not dying except for that last defense. It's a tall task now for Dignitas to...
We saw one good fight from Variety right near the Fire Giant, did some decent damage, set up his team. They really couldn't follow up at that point. I go back to Awilix can't be Awilix without some kind of help, right? Mm-hmm. In this case, she is a very strong character, and she can do a lot of damage very quickly. But I'm looking very deeply into what Cuvo Fred changed as he played Awilix. And that's generally just Runeforge Hammer. she had a way to stay in the fight.
Yeah.
She used her disjoint against magic and tanked up as much as she could against the physicals, and this is not what we're seeing at all.
It was a 4 physical game, though. I mean, it was a little bit easier to build
yeah.
into than here, where you do have to deal with the Scylla and Geb damage. I mean, the Geb damage is not negligible to an Awilix through the first 15 levels, probably.
Even
Cataclysm
now,
knockup. I mean, yeah,
you take
even
a big
now.
hit, you're gonna
You take a
feel it.
280 damage knockup and anything from Scylla, and it's going to be, you know, a third of his HP pool. So, but speaking of Scylla, she is kind of not really quietly had a lot of impact as Arrow, but the itemization is really starting to get exceptionally scary for the Scylla here.
But
She's
can he
gonna
hit the ult? I mean, we haven't seen him land a single one yet.
Hasn't needed to. I mean, once he has the Soul Reaver
true.
done, a single ability is going to be 50% of anybody's HP pool.
And he has a lot of damage right now. I mean, I'd be very, very afraid if I were to get hit by a Scylla with 545 damage.
Yeah, I mean, the
Sick him alone.
The Thoth not finished stacking up yet. Only about 8 stacks remaining until he gets that one there.
Doesn't really need it, though. It's not going to be a huge spike
It's not,
in damage.
yeah, it's not. It's mostly already
5.
doing its work out of that passive plus the 60-plus stacks they have. There
Here we
comes
go
a nice
again.
initiation. Anhur's going to get snatched out of it while he tries to leap away. So, you know, a little bit of plays here, but there was just no follow-up. I mean, you saw it during that engagement. We were riding along with Shaggy Shank, riding along with the tank there, and now we're on Shaggy Shank. But as the fight happened, it was, you know, a lot of people running away.
What I love is that they're so desperate to get off their ultimates and get these combos up that they didn't really recognize what could happen. So they used the chain pull and the gravity surge pull at the same exact time, and then Youngbae's just, Shaggy Shank's just like, beats. I will beats both of those things. Thank you. Thank you for using all of your ultimates on me. And with that, they cleaned it up. I mean, they didn't have a frontliner there. They lost a lot of part of their damage with the jungler. And London Conspiracy, who came in as huge underdogs here, win by 20 kills. Huge, huge jump there for Suntouch and the boys.
20 kills. My goodness.
That's a big difference.
I guess I didn't realize how much that one had gotten out of hand. I mean, it ends the game, probably close to about 15,000, 16,000 gold to their credit. We do have First Blood, the replay coming your way. Let's take a look at that one as we'll continue to kind of talk about what went wrong here for Team Dignitas. And there it is. It was one of the only Ima monsters to really hit the game. Didn't result in the kill. It was the Crush Stick combination later that did. Agni comes through and isn't able to find another kill there. But First Blood and really the rest of the game, London Conspiracy's way. Dignitas had a about strong 5 minutes there where it was like, uh-oh, they may take this one Gold Fury, couple tier 1s. This may go their way. But London Conspiracy takes it right back from them with a lot of team fight victories.
When it comes down to it, even despite the jungle being controlled by Dignitas in the beginning, London Conspiracy makes it to the end game, winds up controlling a little bit more, taking 56% of the map overall.
Yeah, and looking at the highest kind of individual, it's a couple of steals onto the speed. Looks like one steal onto the attack speed as well, going the way of LC there. So, and a couple of key moments are taking away big camps.
Mid-camp control is like the biggest part of it, right? I mean, this was more than enough for them to do. I mean, all they needed to do was get to the end game. We said it throughout the entire game. They had an end game comp. They had to get Scylla big, right? They had to get damage to burn down Ares. And when it comes down to it, Snakeskin, player of the game, was untouchable.
Yeah, the Lawbringer. He definitely dictated the pace of most of that early late game, late mid game period. That entire time belonged to Snakeskin. About 22 minutes onward, it was just nothing. I mean, he just thought nothing of fighting the entire team. 19 assists just gives you an idea of how involved he was in these extended fights, especially.
That play right there, to me, was the most important, because that's proper tier play. He walks into a team fight, knows that he can't get the kill, and his team might be in danger. So he just hits him, right, sends him to the wall, and then walks away to get his cooldowns back. He goes and does mid-camps, comes back in, catches someone out of position, kills him outright. I mean, this is perfect tier play.
Yeah, he has to kind of maintain that frontline presence, make them scared, and look at this fight just continues on, and eventually heard that Bakasura as well. I mean, was really the anguish, the sigh of anguish must have come out of Variety after that play.
So again, you know, Arrow going in, trying to get these big swings, but it's not going to happen. Not tanky enough. Needed bolster defenses, and Snakeskin's just tanking right through absolutely everyone. No trouble whatsoever. Lawbringer right to the back line to lock him down. I mean, just there's nothing you can say like he didn't do this right this game.
Yeah, not to mention that pillar there.
Even if you nitpick, right? The amount of things that you could nitpick are so tiny. That is the bar at which the rest of all tier play for the rest of the season will be just judged against.
Yeah, he was great. I mean, you saw just how long those replays were to give you an indication of how well he's doing these fights. But as you see on the bottom there, guys, tweet at us who you think will win in game number 2. So we'll be there in 5 minutes. You can hit us up at Smite Pro for a chance to win all kinds of awesome prizes, in-game content, and whatnot. That does it for game number 1 in set number 1 here today from Europe. It is London Conspiracy up 1-0 versus Team Dignitas. We'll be back in about 5 minutes with game number 2. Don't go anywhere. We're looking forward to bringing it to you live.